Alright guys, welcome to Mining Positivity with PJ, and we've got a couple things to go over today before we get into our Monday mine. So first things first, let's head out of the mine and head upstairs. So there was just a patch that came out for Minecraft, and it looks like it did something that I'm not super excited about. Sometimes they fix, quote unquote, fix things in Minecraft that really aren't broken, in my opinion. Oh, there, let me flip this today so we can stop this rain. The never-ending island rain. So hopefully you're having a great week already. I know it's Monday. Monday can be kind of a drag. If you're a student in the US, you're probably not in school today because it's President's Day. But yeah, so one of the things they fixed here was it said in the patch notes that smelted items now give the correct amount of XP. And we don't really get a lot of XP for things now. So if I smelt this, I used to be able to grab one of these and get like tons of XP, and now I'm getting like nothing. So I think we'll have to do some further testing to be sure, but I'm pretty confident the XP machine no longer works. And we'll have to get XP the old-fashioned way, which is just simply taking out mobs. Which, again, I'm totally fine with. If you've been following this channel for a while, you know that I'm not super into automating a bunch of stuff in Minecraft. That's just not my thing. It can be cool. I know a lot of people like that kind of stuff, but for me, just not really my thing. I like actually playing the game and not playing in a way that automates a bunch of stuff. All right. Anyways, moving on. So we set this up last week on the Monday mine, and this, I wanted to talk about this because this base was it was created in 1.17. Then 1.18 came out, and it lowered Bedrock past the point of 0. So it's important to note that because I thought some people might see like, well, how are you getting all this diamond at minus 58 when you're in a pre-existing chunk? Well, everything that was below 0, so 0, -1, and below, that is newly generated stuff. So the current levels that ores generate on are all different. So if they're below 0, I'll be able to take advantage of the new 1.18 generation. But if it's above 0, say like the best chunk for coal now is like 30, that won't work because this is pre-existent 30 level 30 chunk that was already loaded in 1.17. But since our diamond is active, and we had so much luck finding... Speaking of luck, like, let's look at what we actually got here last week. Aw, I hate when I do that. Where did I put those diamonds? 24. Now, I think I had 2. So maybe not all of this was that, but let's just go ahead and see really quickly how many diamonds we get from last week's excavation here while we were going through our Monday mine. I didn't really get a lot of feedback from that episode. It was kind of not dark, but it was definitely some heavy subject matter. So, but hopefully it was enjoyable. And I was excited to find this new diamond layer and create kind of a useful way for this mine shaft now that things have changed so much. But let's see how many diamonds we get here. It's gonna be like absolutely ridiculous. 45 in like maybe 10 minutes we were mining, I think. So okay, just tap it just a little. Just a little. Oh, yeah. Okay, too much. Alright. Stay. Yep. There we go. Okay, sweet. Alright, so let's head on down. And we'll go ahead and take that out of our inventory. And yeah. Hop into our mine. Okay, so today is the Monday mine. If you're new to this channel, basically every Monday we talk about something positive while we go mining. Sometimes we're mining for, you know, resources. Sometimes we're mining to dig things out or something like that. I don't know if I want to go digging this. Yeah, all right, that's fine. We can go digging this way. But yeah, today what we're going to talk about is the power of forgiveness. The power of forgiveness. So, we all know, or at least have heard, that when somebody offends us, the the right thing to do is to forgive them, right? Like, or at least in religious circles, you'll hear things like that. Oh, you have to forgive because that's the right thing to do. Um, but the funny thing about that, though, is that well, let's talk about like when somebody offends us first. Let's start there. Let me make some torches here because we're definitely gonna need some of those. So when somebody creates an offense against us, what happens? We get upset, our feelings are hurt, we feel betrayed, we feel let down, it destroys relationships, it destroys friendships. It just kind of is an all-around negative thing when we're betrayed and when somebody creates an offense against us. So we particularly suffer the most usually when that offense is made because it's against us, right? And so, for instance, let's just say one of my friends, lied to me about something really important, or I shared a secret and then they told somebody, and they swore to me they would never tell anybody about that. Look at all this diamond already. This is ridiculous. And so I'm going to be doubly hurt by this betrayal because, for one, my secret was not kept, and two, my trust in my friend has been damaged. And so let's talk about what happens to the friend, though. So for the friend, maybe they're upset because their friend is upset and it's not ultimately what they wanted, but they did that. Ooh, need to deal with that real quick. Let's kind of block this off. Go back. All right. So for them, they've upset their friend. They might be kind of hurt about that, but that's kind of where that stops, right? For them, for the person who actually commits the offense, that's where it stops for them. They might feel bad, and it's kind of over. But for us, a lot of different things happen. Again, we're hurt because our friend betrayed us. We're actually, hurt because whatever that thing we trusted or needed protection with is gone. And, that hurt will be there. But most of all, too, our hurt will be lingering. So where the friend will be, disappointed maybe in themselves or sad that they, disappointed their friend, and it kind of is over at that point. After a little bit of time, they probably move on, just kind of move on, let things go, because it wasn't against them. But for the person that was offended, the person who was actually, hurt by this betrayal, that lingers and lingers and lingers and stays indefinitely. If forgiveness is not found, because we will constantly feel resentment, constantly feel anger, constantly feel the betrayal, constantly feel the suffering on top of the actual, outcome of, whatever the betrayal actually was. I think keeping a secret is probably a bad example. Let's talk about something like, maybe I'm trying not to think of anything that's like, I can't really think of anything specific that I have. I have some pretty awesome friends, and so I haven't really been betrayed too much by friends. Okay, let's say a friend steals from you, all right? Like, they come over to your house, they steal something, and it's of heavy importance to you, and they sell it, okay? And so all the same things happen that we just talked about, and you decide, yeah, you're not going to press legal charges because that was your friend, but the loss of that precious item to you, or maybe you do press legal charges, I don't know. But, the loss of the precious item thing, that's forever. Like, that's not going away. Like, that thing is gone. It's probably never coming back. You're never going to see it again. And so that stays indefinitely. But for the person who actually did the betrayal, they just feel bad for what they did. They don't suffer any of the other things. And so forgiveness is so key for us as people because it frees us from the betrayer. And I think that's what people miss the most when they hold on to offenses, or they're, super, super just bitter and angry for the rest of their life. And I hate that person. And I want to say real quickly that forgiveness and forgetting are not the same thing. So you definitely should not forget when people do terrible things to you. You should not forget that. You should use that as knowledge to make better decisions about the kinds of friends and people that you trust in your life and different things like that. Forgiveness is not forgetfulness. You just don't pretend like, okay, well that never happened and everything's cool. You can come over to my house with my personal belongings and I'll just pretend that you never stole from me. Like that's silly. But forgiveness, what that actually is saying like, I feel the loss of that thing that was taken from me. But that friend, who unfortunately I can no longer be friends with because of the betrayal and also because of the fact that, I can't trust them around my stuff, I don't personally hold them responsible. Maybe they're going through something in life. Maybe they struggle with being a klepto. Maybe they're just, their morality is not the same as mine, and so we don't line up, and so we can't actually be friends. That kind of forgiveness, what that does is it frees you. It frees you to not have to suffer additional punishment from the betrayal that only you will ever suffer, because you can at least let go of that person and just move on. You're not sitting around saying how awful they are, how worthless they are, how miserable of a human being they are, because all that does is make you miserable. It doesn't actually do anything to the person who offended you. It just makes you miserable. Oh, hello, lava. Alright, let's put that there. There's a big lava ocean right there. But forgiveness is a powerful tool to make us free. Forgiveness allows us to move on. It does not allow the person to continue to take advantage of us. It does not alleviate responsibility for what the person did. Like I said, they still should not be your friend. If, in my little scenario, if they robbed you, they should definitely, at bare minimum, they should definitely never be left alone with your valuables. Because that would just be asking for them to repeat that behavior and hurt you even further, which is that was terrifying. This game makes some crazy noises for just unnecessary game. Unnecessary. All right. But but forgiveness for us just sets us free. It just sets us free and allows us to move on with our life. And so I want to encourage you that if you've been struggling with some kind of offense that someone did to you a long time ago, no matter how severe it is, no amount of bitterness and hatred you have toward that person is ever going to make it better. It's never going to make it better. Take the steps you need to take to keep those kinds of people out of your life and protect yourselves from the kind of betrayal that you experienced. But just forgive them as a person and let it go. Just decide that, that thing that happened no longer has any control over you, no longer has any influence over you, because the effect of whatever the betrayal is there, but the actual resentment toward the particular individual that did that's not helpful to you. It doesn't make you better. It doesn't bring healing to you. It doesn't do anything. So you're just going to let it go. You're just going to forgive that person based upon the fact that it sets you free and alleviates any power they have over you. And so hopefully that makes sense and that's encouraging. I know for me in my life, I have had a few instances, one in particular that was absolutely devastating. It wasn't just one person, it was an entire group of people who just kind of basically went from being super close and friendly to almost the word enemy, like in its truest form, overnight. And so I understand what that could feel like. And for a long time, I was like, oh, I hate those people. How could they betray me like that? They were so fake. They were ingenuine. They're, not good people, all that stuff. But that'll make you sick. And it will disease your life. It will turn everything in your life that is good into something miserable and sad. You just can't. You can't walk around just being hateful and resentful for years and years. I mean, you can, but it won't bring any good. to your life. It definitely won't do that. But forgiveness will be there to set you free. So, like I said, hopefully that's encouraging. And this is awesome, man. This new diamond generation is fantastic. You can get diamonds so quick now. Apparently you can't get XP so quick anymore, but diamond, yep, all over the place. So, I think we're gonna call it there. Let me see, how much do I actually have now? 8 already? Look at that. And we got a lot of good ore and a lot of deep slate, which I need for some building stuff that I want to do. So yeah, all right, we'll stop it here. I'll leave a torch right here to remind us of where we were, so we can go. Whoops. So we can go back down this way the next time we mine. I think we'll start our next one, which should be redstone. I don't remember off the top of my head which one was the best one for redstone, but we'll find it. I think I have this trap door closed, and I wanted to see, like, will I take damage if I hit into this? No. And I will never drown either because the bubbles are giving me air. Oh no. Can I? Oh, I like. Okay. I was like, uh-oh. I don't think I can go because you can't get down a bubble elevator that's pushing you up. There's no way to get down there. So, that was kind of weird and terrifying a little bit at the same time. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I look forward to seeing you on the next episode of Mining Positivity. Bye, guys.